moi que tu parles. C'est à moi que tu parles. C'est à moi que tu parles, enculé. C'est à moi que tu parles.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Triple Feature. It is 1995. For those of you who've been following this, we are going step through the 90s. This 1995 is a hard time to pick, especially what order to put these top 5 movies in, because these top 5 films are so good, but especially the top 4. I think when you look at the top 4, I really didn't know what order to put them in. So it could definitely rearrange at any chance. But let's get right into it. Number 5 movie of 1995 is a comedy. It is the first movie ever done by Adam Sandler. Now, people laugh about Adam Sandler all the time in his career. And yes, the films have gone kind of off the rails in a lot of ways. But this is his first movie, 1995's Billy Madison. Why is this movie where it's at? Because as a comedy, one, the movie's stupid. There's no question that this movie is dumb. The whole plot of the movie is absolutely stupid. It's about a really rich boy who wants to prove to his dad that he can take over the company. And so he's willing to go back all the way through grade school, starting at kindergarten through 12th grade, that he can finish them all in a short period of time. And he goes through all these grades. He's got friends that mess around. He's really dumb. This is just how it is. It's got a love story. Why is it number 5? Is because it was funny then, and it's still funny. And it's arguably his best movie. This and Happy Gilmore, arguably his best film, his first 2 films. As they say in Undeclared, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore were punk rock. Not so much with the other ones.
Hey, Carl, what's up?
That is number 5.
Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Number 4. What is the number 4 film of 1995? This was a really rough one to choose. I wasn't quite sure what order to put these in. But I'm going to have to pick a Martin Scorsese film. Before, I had Martin Scorsese way up again. This one is Casino. This film is underrated. Now, I know people like it. I'm not saying people don't like Casino. I just feel like they always place it down, because actually, I like this movie more than Goodfellas. Blasphemy, maybe. Maybe it's blasphemy, but people are always talk about Goodfellas being his best film and all this sort of stuff, and Casino's down at the bottom. I prefer Casino. The ending of the movie, I'm not even going to give it away, but it is just absolutely brutal. The end of the movie is absolutely brutal. Now, there's a car explosion in this scene with one of the fakest bodies I've ever seen. So again, like all movies, not perfect. This movie's a banger, though.
Out of respect, guys from other crews got away with a warning. Everybody else, watch out.
Number 3 film of 1995. Again, where in the world do I put these sort of things? But my number 3 film of 1995, directed by Mel Gibson, not a controversial man at all whatsoever. So, it is the movie Braveheart. Now, coming back to this movie, because I saw this when I was younger, when I came back to this movie and I introduced it to Joe, who also is a Triple Feature, he did not expect the quality of which it held up. I didn't even expect the quality of which it held up. We were watching this and Gladiator, 2 different movies that had won Best Picture, 2 different movies. Gladiator was still fine, but it kind of plays like just kind of a, it's an action flick, but it doesn't hold up to the level. Braveheart still holds up with the emotion, the battles, everything that goes on in the movie to the very end with the yell of freedom. The whole movie is so good. It is Mel Gibson's best film, bar none. Like, nothing close has he done since this. Not that he's made just terrible films after this. Though Hacksaw Ridge, Hacksaw Ridge is absolutely horrible. But Braveheart is where it's at. If you haven't seen Braveheart, see Braveheart. number 2. This is, again, we can come down these last 2 films. I think a lot of these films could take different places. But my number 2 film of all time comes from Pixar. There's actually 4 films in this. But number 2, animated, Toy Story. Toy Story 1. Why is this number 2? This could be all over the place. This tells a story, obviously, of toys, fantasy world, and the way that toys are actually alive. Let's not go into all that. Buzz Lightyear makes perfect sense in the sense of why he falls over and acts like a toy. If he doesn't believe he's in a toy, there's no real answer to that. But the story of Buzz Lightyear trying to prove that he is not a toy, that he is a space ranger, and then we have Woody, whose rule over all these toys really is being, it's being attacked, basically. And so the way this plays out, this movie should not be as good as it is, but the jokes are still good. It's still good. There's still emotion in the movie. They still have, I can still go back to specific scenes and watch them and still laugh. I can still watch the whole time. Animation doesn't quite hold up completely. Computer's definitely advanced since then. You watch Toy Story 4. Great film too, but Toy Story 1. Check it out. If you haven't seen Toy Story, I'm guessing you've seen Toy Story. And my number 1 film of 1995. This comes from a great director. Movie he'll probably have some other number 1s here in the 90s, I'm guessing. But he's one of the great directors. That's just a given. This movie has Morgan Freeman in it. It has a very specific ending that is very well known for a certain line. It has Brad Pitt in it. It's about a serial killer. Number 1 is Seven. Films don't really get much darker, at least on mainstream films. When it comes to mainstream films, they don't get much darker than this. Of a serial killer that's going around and killing people according to the 7 deadly sins. And so, of course, you have your detectives going out, Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, teaming up, going out and trying to figure out who this is. This is so dark, and it builds and builds and builds, and builds to such a intense, dramatic conclusion, which, if you've ever read about the original ending, which I will not give away, it would have been even more extreme, but I think they thought it was too extreme, and so they took it down a notch. This movie is from David Fincher. David Fincher films need to be seen. He can just tell a story. The man knows how to take a script. He doesn't really write these. He doesn't write the scripts, but he knows how to take them and turn them in. He can see the beauty, he can see what is great, and he shoots it and just makes masterpieces. And this is a masterpiece of a mystery film, of a serial killer film. And it's about, again, about as dark as you get. And that's number 1. Thank you very much for listening to 1995. Come back for 1996. 96 is going to blow your mind. I don't guarantee it, but I try to guarantee that 1996 will blow your mind. Thank you for listening. Triple feature, baby.
How about that? Made this case once. Guy dead on the ground. Knife in his back. Gotta be murder, right? Fuck. Anyway, big insurance policy involved, yeah? This guy took the tip of the blade, stuck it in his own shoulder blades. And he must have screwed up a few times because there was multiples back there.
Could you please be quiet?